Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of Sketchy Go Ichi. Thank you for finding me if you're new to my channel. And if you are, please go back and check out the archive. There's a bunch of fun little insights and fun little philosophies on drawing and how to get better at it. And also a lot of tutorials on how to use Procreate, my kind of drawing tool of choice. But anyways, in this video, speaking of Procreate, it's part 2 in a sketch I did called Spider Kitty. Intrigued? Stay tuned and enjoy.
Sketchy Go Ichi.
Thank you guys for coming back to check out how I'm going to color Spider Kitty. Here we go. Alright, so anyways, let me fill in, I'm going to fill in a shape, basically a full color shape underneath it. There's reasons for it. I like, again, I'm using this sort of the selection tool, the lasso tool, and I just literally go in, let me zoom way in, and I just draw within, like basically behind the outline, in between. I sort of split the difference between the inked line, and I go around and I draw a shape all the way around the character, like a silhouette, all the way around the character. The tool here in Procreate is wonderful for that, because you can undo, you can stop, you can go back. It feels like you're drawing with a brush too, so it's got some nice sort of feel as you're sort of tracing out the shape, right? So I'm going to go all the way around. Literally all I'm doing is just basically drawing an outline with a selection all the way around the character, you know. And I'm not going to include the shadow, the little sort of drop shadow that I created. I'm just going to kind of stick with the character, him or herself, because there's no guarantee. We have gender really specific here on this little spider cat, or spider kitty. Alright. Again, I'm not going to include these the little webbed whiskers, and I'm going to come up and end that little circle. I know it's probably difficult to see on screen, but that center part is the area where it's going to be selected. All of these sort of diagonal lines represent the area that is not selected. Okay, a little bit extra training on that. And so within this app, I'm going to fill it. Let's see, what do I want to fill it with? I'm going to fill it with, why not fill it with red? Why the heck not? So, fill layer, boom. It is now filled. See? Maybe not necessarily the spider red that I want to use, but I don't know. I like having sort of an outlined overall shape. I also see an area where I kind of messed up, which is beautiful, because now that it is its own layer, I can erase out the part I don't like, or I can use that selection tool again, and I can go in and select this little area right there and cut it. Yeah, you saw that. Oops, you saw that too. Alright, and then I'm going to maybe expand the red a little bit into here. That's all. Alright, again, I'm not supposed to go too crazy on this. Alright, so now I have this area selected. I can fill it, change it, which I will do right now. I'm going to change the color. Let's see, hue, saturation, and brightness. You know, here's our saturation. Change the color if I want to anything. So I want sort of a little more desaturated red. So I can play with the brightness where it becomes kind of, change it to white almost. Somewhere in that range is good. Right there. That's what I'm feeling for Spider-Man red. Alright, so got that layer, create a new one above it, and I'm going to make this one, a clipping mask layer. So everything I color is going to go within the red. For those old school Photoshop people, you'll know what I mean. And now I'm going to apply all the other colors to this spider costume. You know what? Before I do, I'm going to do one more thing. first things first. I don't know why I'm making these little. That is definitely one. Make sure I'm on the right layer. Making these little ticks. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to go back to black. Go on the line art layer. Alright, so anything I add will be on the line art layer. And I'm going to do a little. I think it's going to help. I think it's going to be cuter to have him like he's got little booties, spidey booties. And also, in doing that, I see a little funky area here on the red where we don't need. While I'm at it, let me look around and see if there's any other ones. Nope, that's good. Okay, so. Alright, I'm on our color layer. We'll go white for the eyes. Oh, by the way, I mentioned earlier about if I take this line art and turn it to a reference layer. Again, I get into all this in detail in other videos. Turn that to a reference layer. Let me see if this is going to work. I want white and I want to fill his eyes. Ah, it does work. Yes. See? By turning that to reference layer, now the line art is the reference point for where I apply color. So I want to do a nice blue for the other parts of the costume that are indeed blue. Alright, so we'll do his little limbs, which, see, I'm glad I actually threw that in there. Obviously I could just paint it in if I wanted to, you know, just using this guy right here, just paint it. It's always an option. But that reference layer thing is a pretty quick way to go if you ever want to just lay in some colors really quickly, right? Oh, I also noticed another thing. Let me go back to black. The line art. Actually, I'm going to take off the reference layer now because I don't think I need it. And I'm going to do his neck. Just a couple of lines on the neck, just for the heck of it. Oh, what else am I missing? I am missing, let's go back to the color layer. So select that blue. Some blue in here on that area. And yeah, let's do some blue for the nose. Okay. And do we want to do blue on the ears? I really don't. Want to. I want to do a different color. Maybe we'll just do a lighter red, which is handled in this guy right here. So let's do a lighter red in there. Oh, let me make sure. First things first. Let me make sure I'm on the right layer. Line art, color. Go, and I am going to use the selection to fill this one this time. So by the way, one selection here, watch me close the loop, boom, but I'm not done yet. I want to do the other ear, so I just add it again. Just keep going, just add the selection on there. Right, now that is done like that, I just fill, boom. Yeah, so I do prefer the slightly lighter color. Alright, and then I also noticed this area here, this part of the limb. Again, I'm just basically having fun with this stuff anyway, so so it can be anything I want, really, when it's fun. Alright, so I think that'll do it. So we have our basic colors of our friendly neighborhood spider kitty. Okay. You know, while I'm at it, I'm gonna have some fun with this guy. Again, using my selection, I'm gonna grab just the whiskers. It's a little tricky in here because, you know, it's a little more complicated than most. So it's just literally, I'm trying to just pull out just the whisker part. Just literally making a selection that that will hopefully only grab, if I did it correctly, only grab the whiskers. Right, so that's that side. So I'm going to add this side in as well. And hopefully this will kind of differentiate the whiskers if I do it right. Alright, grab this one in here. I'm trying not to pick up any of the other line, the sort of the part that I don't want to grab, basically. Actually, I didn't need to do that weird one over there. And this is me grabbing that, just the whiskers. Make sure I'm on the line art layer, right? So that part I'm going to copy and paste. So I have just whiskers. Here's the cool thing about that is if I wanted to, I could, let me pick like a, what would go good? Maybe like a dark gray, maybe? I don't know. So I can select it and I can fill it. So now I have whiskers, if you notice, in a different color. Right? Hopefully you can see it. If not, I can always go like this here. Hue, brightness, and saturation. I can play with the brightness. See them a little better. Saturation, I'll leave it as it is because it's basically gray. There's not a lot of color in it. Add a little more purple or whatever to it. But anyways, and I can change that to any color I want at this point too, because it's now on its own layer. So that's that. Alright, cool. So that's on its layer, it's on above everything, so it's all good. Can't mess with it. I'm going to go to that clipping mask layer, and I am going to start adding some shadow. I select black. You can select any dark color. I can go dark gray, I can go green. Fine. It doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter, but I like to go, usually I like to add a little color to the black. Like, so if I went with the gray, that really dark gray, and went over to the red section, I give it a little bit of red to it. It's a really super dark red. In this case, I want it to be kind of, that's if I want to make a warm shadow. That basically, this is all about making a shadow. All right, so we're gonna go just a little bit more red. All right, so we're on the line art layer. This is gonna seem really weird at first, very strange at first. I'm gonna go up high with my slider, my brush size slider. I'm gonna pick a lighting direct. Ooh, that's really funky. Let me make sure I'm on the right. I'm on line art. That's why. Make sure I'm on the right one. Again, this is gonna look weird at first, right? Why am I blackening all that stuff? You're probably asking yourself, and that would be a fair question to ask, by the way. I will show you in a second. Again, this is gonna look really weird, and I get it. Please, I do get it. I'm gonna fill that. Like, why on earth would I do that? It's crazy, right? Well, you got this little opacity slider, and it's all starting to make a little more sense now, hopefully. Right? Because now I have really cool, like, not cool, actually warm in this case, shadow color, and that which I can add to, of course. I'm gonna fix this shape in here. Boost this guy up. And I want it to kind of curve this way, and then I can add back to it by bringing my some shade back to it. Okay. And now I can just render. Now that I've lowered the opacity, I can just continue to render where I think the shadow should go. It's really all I'm doing at this point now. Just rendering where I think the shadow should go. That's all that is. Yeah, matter of fact, I think it probably would go over here like that. Just trying to imagine where the light would hit it. I mean, I know this is not a real, not a real character. I get it, guys. I know it's not. It's not. But I'm just trying to imagine if this existed in the real world, and it was sitting on a table, and there was a light source over here, upper left-hand side, I guess you could call it. Trying to imagine how the light would hit this guy. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. I suppose if I really wanted to be picky, I could probably change the shadow color, because it's over blue now. So, you know, ideally I'd want it to be kind of cool. But this one, in this case, it's working okay. The shadow color, you know, that gray, that warm gray that had a little bit of red in it, is actually working okay over. But it doesn't always. I gotta mention, it actually does not always do that, unfortunately. So again, just trying to imagine where the shadows would be, you know, all along that one side. I can even cast a little, well, because that's all shadowed. All right, so that's. Want to make sure this ear is separated from that part. That's why I left that little light area. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give it some more dark in here as well. That's where the shadow is gone. Okay. So anyway, so there's some shadow there. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the same thing. Wait, let me finish this off. Same deal, same rules apply to adding a highlight. So again, in between, I can put one there. I can select white. White is white. Again, it's clip and mask, so it's going to stay connected to this solid color. I'm just going to add some highlight. Again, it's harsh white. So I know it's going to be a little strange right now. Yeah, I'll leave that one there. This is just where the extreme highlight is hitting. That's what I'm thinking anyways. Like the harshest part of the light is hitting that part. Let me zoom in a bit. Hitting probably a little less intense on that side of the thing, but whatever, we're having fun, right? Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna leave that one alone. And besides, it's underneath anyways. So let's see. Matter of fact, let's put this one above. Let's lower that opacity and see what happens. Pretty close to what I want. Yeah, pretty darn close actually. Go a little bit lighter. Because I can always add another harsh light highlight in there. And I can add more highlighting too if I wanted to. I can go on the edge there, pick up some there. You know. Again, I can pick it up in here. I can add another little highlight in there. Oops. Or I can go back in. First things first, let me pick up some little highlights in there. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Or I can go back in to this guy and kind of pull away some some shadow. You can pick different areas to pull the shadow away. But I kind of like it where it is for the most part. There you go. little light there. Just kind of hit that bottom edge. So that's close. So I made that its own selection, the whisker part of it. Now I'm going to play around with, within every layer there's some different options. You know, you can start off with, of course, normal, which is what I had. But there are a bunch of different options within here that can be adjusted and changed, and trust me, it's a whole bunch of different ways. Like I like lighter color. You can change the opacity of it too. But I kind of like lighter color. And because it's a selection, I can duplicate it, and I can add highlight to this duplicated section. So simplest way, you know, I can make a selection out of it, and then I can go in with my white, just add highlights. Oops, it'd help if I used a brush. Let me zoom way in so you can kind of see it. See? Just add these really kind of random highlights along this web. It's a little too intense. Bring that down a bit. And particularly where it's coming out of his mask. Again, I'm picking a light source side, By that I mean, like, you know, it's on one side of the web. It's really, really thin, so it's kind of tricky, but okay. And let's deselect. See what we have. Yeah, kind of cool. You can kind of, now you can see, because of the highlight, you can kind of see it a little better, hopefully. And speaking of highlight, you know what? While I'm at it, I'm on that layer. Create a new layer. Throw a little white highlight on it. Can't hurt. I don't like to overdo it, the harsh highlights though. By harsh I mean like the white highlights. I don't like to overdo those. And by the way, they're on top of the line art right now. So they will obscure the line art, the place where I have them right now. Just little spots. Just kind of bring it out. Where I feel necessary. Maybe I'll throw them right in here. Alright. And then last but not least, I'm going to throw a little background underneath everything. So it's got to be underneath the color. And this is not necessary, but this is probably one of the reasons I just noticed a little funky, created a little funky line in there. There it is. Get rid of that. Oops. Bring that highlight back. This one back. Too much. Alright. Yeah, I don't know why I got some weird highlight in there. Okay, that's cool. Oh, so underneath this, new layer, I want to do some background stuff. I'm going to pick like a darker gray, and I am going to select a different brush. Maybe something a little more artistic, a little more like, I don't know what this one is, hearts. Let's see what this looks like. Again, it's underneath. I kind of like it. Feels like almost like charcoal. Just kind of doing like some random shapes underneath. This is probably where Bob Ross would say this happy little tree. Have to be careful because I'll lose that. Oh, when you bear down, you get a little darker and erratic. See? Ooh, I like that. Love these like the new brushes in Procreate. They got these really cool effects. Alright, you can see I'm just playing. Anyways. And just for giggles, I'm gonna throw some splatter on there. You know what? Dare I do it on top? All right. Again, another reason for doing this, I can select. It's gonna select that whole outer shape. I can make a new layer. Yeah, I'm gonna do it above the line art. I'm gonna select white just for the heck of it. And I'll pick like a splattery looking brush. In the water, this maybe not. Maybe I'll do a textured brush. Let's see. No. Let's go to spray paints. There we go. We'll go splatter. And let's see what happens. Yeah. It's weird. Probably thinking, what the heck is this guy doing? Why is he ruining it? I'm not, trust me. Well, I may be, but if I am, it's on its own layer, so it doesn't matter. Alright. Just reduce that. Alright, and actually I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to bring it underneath. So that way I got some of that splattery stuff happening in the background too. And I don't know how much more I want to do this. I kind of like it. Anyways, here is the spider kitty, done by yours truly. Just killing some time on an average day during what I'm sure is some pretty trying times. Hopefully this was fun. Hopefully you can follow along. Please do go back in and check out some of my older videos. They're not nearly as long as this one. I just wanted to give you something to kind of follow along the process from start to semi-finish. Mistakes and warts are also included and free of charge, so you can see sort of my workflow. All right. And yes, please do leave a comment. As a matter of fact, in the comments, if you like, throw out 2 mashup little creatures, and I'll do. As a matter of fact, it can be anything, to be honest with you, but 2 animals, and I'll do a little mashup, something similar to this, or more intense or less intense. But yes, so do comment below, and yes, do click subscribe, and definitely click the bell icon so you get notified when new videos come. But anyways, here we have it. Spider Kitty, done by yours truly. I hope you had fun following along, watching me do what I do. Feel free to do your own thing, anytime, anywhere. Sketchy go easy. Live your moment. Happy sketching, y'all. Peace.